Off. Now take yours off. No fear. So, of course, many had questions. Irving followed that up with a clarification 8 hours later saying, quote, mask off means you stop being something you're not and stop lying to yourself. It's the moment you discover the real you and can walk around with no fear in a society that shows a lot of the masks people wear to hide who they truly are. This is nothing COVID, rule related. Relax. Shannon, did you have a problem with his first tweet?
I don't, because Skip, I think that's the thing when you tweet something or you write something, because people take what you say and it's little interpretation. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and a lot of municipalities have mask mandates where you have to wear a mask. And so when you say
and by the way, we still have one right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And so, Skip, when he says take your mask off, I've taken mine off, people take that as a little interpretation of, oh, Kyrie says he took his mask off. It's cool. We take ours off. I didn't think that's what it was. I didn't think Kyrie would be that reckless. Now, look, I'm not trying to give myself no headache. I try not to take any medicine, as little medicine as I possibly can. So I didn't want to try to get no headache. But I thought when I saw this, I felt there was a deeper meaning. Look, we know Kyrie has gone through a metamorphosis. The person that he was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he's not that same person today. He's always been a deep thinker, very thoughtful, although some of the things that he thought about and he ended up saying, I'm like, Kyrie, you spent all that time thinking about that bull and you come out and say that?
Yeah.
But where he is now in his life is a different place.
Yep.
And I thought after, I didn't really need him to offer me an explanation, because I thought he was saying, I'm a different person. I don't have to put
Really? You thought that right away?
I did, okay. Skip. I never thought Kyrie would be this reckless to say, take your mask off in the middle of a pandemic. Now, we know, look, Skip, there are some people saying, hey, I don't want to get no shot. You shouldn't get no shots. And they got the government of Trinidad and Tobago saying, well, we have no cases. If that's true, could this person please come forward so we can examine them? Yada, yada, yada. But I didn't think Kyrie was going to be this reckless, Skip. Mask. Because we're in a pandemic, I can get why people would say that. Mm-hmm. But we've been saying, even before the pandemic, when someone has a mask on, Halloween, you're trying to hide who you actually are.
Yep.
And so Kyrie was saying, basically, take that mask off. Be true to who you are. Mm-hmm. Since I've gone through this metamorphosis, I no longer have to wear a mask. I'm no longer ashamed. I'm no longer fearful of who I am.
Yep.
You should do the same. Try it. You might like it.
Okay.
Now, I don't know who that was directed at. I don't know what made him wake up yesterday morning and say, you know what? This is on my mind. This is on my heart. This is where I want to go with it. Probably Skip should have tweeted what he tweeted first, and then said, my mask is off. Take yours off.
Yeah.
That's probably the order in which he should have done it. And when you tweet things, Skip, it's because it's hard, Skip, when you just read something, you're like, okay, you reading it like it's written. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people took it as its literal interpretation. I did not, because I didn't think Kyrie would be that reckless. And so I'm glad he expanded on it. He expanded it and let people know what he was thinking. But, man, y'all better stop trying to give yourself a headache trying to figure out Kyrie.
That is a good point. Okay, so when I first saw this tweet, I don't know, about 4 o'clock Pacific time out here in L.A. My mask is off. Now take yours off. No fear. I thought about it, and I thought about it some more, because Kyrie is the deepest thinker we have probably in professional sports right now.
Right.
And I honor that. I admire that.
Yeah.
I love that about that still young man at 29. Right. He lets his mind go into places that a lot of athletes don't even try to go into that deep of water to try to figure things out. And you can laugh, and you can call him World B flat, and you can laugh at Illuminati theories, conspiracy theories, but at least he's using his brain. He's trying to figure things out. Like the Greek philosopher said, the end of man is to know, K-N-O-W, know, right? And that's what it is. The more you know, the better, until you finally figure things out. He's trying to get it right. But when I saw this tweet, and then I called our producer, Tyler Korn, to have our first conference call of the night, he's going to turn around and call you, obviously. I predicted at that moment, I said, I will bet you he will respond in short order. I thought it would be an interview form. He'd do it like a radio interview, TV interview, and say, no, that's not what I meant by that. And it wasn't 5 minutes before on the phone, Tyler said, whoops, there it is. He just tweeted. It was about 8 hours after he posted the first tweet, and he posted the one that explained, to your point, no, you stop being something you're not and stop lying to yourself. It's the moment you discover the real you. That's mask off, right? No fear. Okay? I get it. Love it. You're exactly right. It's why Dak, Hard Knocks, was talking about his fear of Halloween masks, clown suits, right? Because you don't know what that, what's he got under there? Is that gun going to be real the next time or not? And he said he's got this like a phobia against people in masks and costumes because you don't know what's going on. Well, that's what we all face every day. Everybody's wearing a mask out in public. Who's the real you? Well, it's hard to know. So he say, find the real you and embrace the real you and don't fear. Well, obviously, to your point also, this is the wrong time. You can't even... You can't use mask as an analogy or a metaphor right now for taking your mask off because I don't care what anybody says. To me, this is just my opinion. I think you share it. COVID is still a threat to our society. And I think the numbers are still showing you or screaming at you. You still have to be careful. And lives are still being lost. So it's no time to leave it open to misinterpretation. And obviously, I looked at the thread on Twitter yesterday, and a lot of people were taking him to task about this because you can't even venture into there, no matter what you meant, because you can't hope that people will understand that you're going under the surface, And,
and that's why I said, Skip, I wish he had done this first. And then follow up and says, my mask is off. Take yours off. No fear.
Here's what I see with Kyrie. My friend Tom House, the quarterback guru who has coached many of the top quarterbacks, starting with Tom Brady, has told me for years that a lot of athletes he coaches are in what he calls suspended adolescence, where they've been so coddled, so spoiled all along that they aren't forced to grow up. They've become men, but they're still kid-like in their view of the world because nobody forced them to deal with the real world just yet. Well, there's some suspended adolescence going on with Kyrie to me because his maturity doesn't always measure up to his brain power, which is extraordinary, because it has to be attached to maturity or you're going to step out of bounds like this was a small step out of bounds that he tried to rectify.
I think sometimes, Skip, also is that once we have a perception of you, it's hard for you to undo. Once you say the earth is flat, people are not going to take you serious. Once you say some of the things that you say, even though you've gone through this metamorphosis, even though you've gone through this transformation, people only see you as flat earth Kyrie. And so when you try to get something deep and thoughtful and insightful, people, whatever. You said the earth was flat. How can I take you serious? And that's the thing, Skip. It's hard, basically typecast. Because you play a role for so long, people can't see you. As a matter of fact, my buddy Jaleel White, Skip, he played Urkel. It's hard for him to ever get any other role because that's all people see him as. And they walk up to him and on the street, they won't dress him by his real name. He's like, man, I'm not that character. Well, when Kyrie, when you said some things, I'm willing to give people, Skip, I believe we all can. I think the way I tweeted something the other day, Skip, I said, we don't change, we just get revealed for who we are. And people say, are you saying someone can't change? No, I believe people can make a bad mistake, but they're generally good. And in the long run, that person hadn't changed. They got revealed for good, even though they said or did something bad. It's not necessarily, Skip, everybody that does something, oh, that's a bad person. He bad, he bad, he bad. It's a recurrence. A habit of you doing bad things makes you bad. And so for Kyrie, even though he said some bad things, I'm willing to give him the benefit. Now, they weren't bad, Skip. They were just not truthful. And so people don't really want to take him serious when he gives thoughtful, have a deep conversation. But I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I don't, everything Kyrie tweets, I'm not trying, man, what the hell he mean by this? Let me see. If I add this and I take away that, and okay, that's what I came up with. No, I ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to give myself no headache.
It's also possible Kyrie knew exactly what would happen to the first tweet.
Yeah.
And it'd been a while since we've talked about Kyrie, and the sort of the kid in him is saying, I'm going to just have some fun with everybody. I'm going to tweet this, and then I'll wait a while, and everybody will go crazy, and then I'll tweet the deeper truth to this. No, this is what I really meant.
Because, Skip, you know, and we're in, like I said, we're in a pandemic now. So mask is nothing to be about joking about taking off. Skip, I remember when I was a kid, even my early 20s, we used to get mad at somebody, boy, y'all better shut up. I'm going to come here and blow this place up. You can't say that now.
No.
You can't